Is being beautiful actually a blessing or a curse? If I had never possessed this body, maybe I'd too live an ordinary life. Instead of wearing these marks of obsession all over my body, to live the life I want. If someone were to ask me now, is being beautiful a blessing or a curse? I don't think it's any kind of blessing, at least not for me. Beauty is like a slow-acting poison wrapped in sugar coating. Little by little, it consumed me. My mom always says, I make a living with this face my entire life. When she said those words, there was a complex sense of pride in his eyes. Seems like they're feeling relieved. I finally have a way out. But I want to say, Mom, I really do make a living with this face of mine. It's just this meal. I can't swallow it. Can't even spit it out. I often think about it. If I were less attractive, is this really the ending that will happen today? I'm Shen Lucy. I'm 23 years old this year, born in a rural area of Jiangxi. In my sophomore year of high school, I was selected by a teacher from an art school. My parents sold everything they had to send me there. Back then, I thought this was a door that heaven has opened for me. I didn't expect that. Behind this door is a cliff. Art schools are truly different. There are 20 people in our class. Not the daughter of a real estate tycoon, the boss's daughter. It's just that my parents farm the land. First day of school, I'm wearing a dress from Taobao that costs 39 yuan with free shipping. Standing among a crowd of Chanel and Gucci outfits. How should I describe that feeling? It's just that you're clearly standing there. Yet I feel like I'm half a head shorter. But I quickly realized, my advantage is that I'm more beautiful than them all. It's not that I'm that much prettier than them. It's just that we're beautiful in different ways. Their beauty is nothing but the result of spending money. I'm this pretty. Inborn by nature. Later I got to know Su Mahan from the class next door. He was wearing a Prada hoodie. I only found out later that the watch on my wrist could be used to buy a car. He smiled in a cheeky way. I had no idea who he was at that time. Just think this person has a bit of personality. Later, I found out that his father was one of us, the boss of the largest real estate company here. He's the head of that TV station, damn it. We're together now. I didn't believe him when he said he liked me. I just think he's a rich kid who's curious about me. But I didn't refuse. He took me to the best restaurant for dinner. Buy me expensive lipstick and handbags. Drive me around the area on the weekend. Popular tourist spots in the city to check off on one's list. He's really kind to me. It's so good that sometimes I pinch myself to make sure it's real. I guess I'm dreaming. Those 2 years I was with Su Mahan, I'm living a life that I used to have before. Days that I couldn't even imagine living through. On Valentine's Day, he gave me a limited edition bag. I carried it back to the dormitory on my back. My roommates' eyes were completely wide with surprise. They asked me where I came from. I said it was a gift from my boyfriend. They said, Shen Lucy, you're really lucky. I nodded proudly. Actually, I know. What do people say about them behind their backs? They say I'm after his money. Saying I want a pheasant to turn into a phoenix. But I don't care. Because I really liked him at that time. Not just because he's rich. But slowly, I realize I've changed. I used to think the cafeteria food cost 8 yuan. A meal that costs just a little money is perfectly fine. Later, I wondered if that was something people ate. I used to think that. The dress on Taobao for 100 yuan looks really nice. Later, when I saw that label, I felt like the item's value had decreased. In the past, I took the train's hard seat when going home. Later, Su Mahan bought me a business class ticket on the high-speed train. I'm starting to get used to those nice things. Used to being looked at that way by others. That look on her face that clearly shows she's not cheap at all. Once, during a holiday, I went home. My mom prepared a whole table of dishes for me. I looked at the table whose paint had peeled off. Looking at those bowls and dishes that have been in use for decades. Suddenly, I can't eat anything. I quickly suppressed this thought, scolding myself for being heartless. But this thought grew wildly like a vine. I know I've changed, but I don't know how to change back. Half a year before graduation, Su Mahan suddenly broke up with me abruptly. The phone isn't being answered. No response to messages. Less than a month. He officially announced it in his social circle. A woman wearing a Chanel suit. The girl was holding his hand. A smile that's bright and charming. My first love ended in such a hasty manner. What hurts me more than a broken heart is, I seem to have gotten used to a luxurious lifestyle. I never want to go back to those days again. After graduation, things weren't like they were at first. To become a star or model just as imagined. Can't even find a decent job. Managed to get a job at the front desk. Earning 4,000 yuan per month. Excluding rent and living expenses, there's very little left. Every time I pass by the mall, seeing those brands he used to buy for me, I just can't help but want to go in. Sometimes I just go in and take a look. Touch those bags. Those clothes. Those things I once took for granted. How should I describe that feeling? Just like a person who has quit smoking sees cigarettes. Knew full well I shouldn't touch it. But I still can't help it. It's this damned vanity. Let me walk step by step towards hell. My first time of falling away from moral standards was the year after I graduated. At that time, I changed 3 jobs. None of them can last long. It's not that the salary is too low. It's just that I think my colleagues are incompetent. I feel like I've contracted some strange disease. Seems like they simply look down on ordinary people. My male colleague invited me to drink milk tea. What I was thinking was, what the hell is this? Su Mahan used to take me to Starbucks all the time. My female colleague invited me to go shopping at the mall. I said yes with my mouth. What's on my mind is, what's there to browse anyway? You can't afford it again. I know I'm not doing the right thing, but I can't control it. Later, I ended up working at a media company. The boss is a 40-year-old man. I have a wife and children. He takes quite good care of me. Take me on business trips. Socializing takes me along. Sometimes I work late into the night. He drove me home. I was in debt on my credit cards at that time. Every month they borrow from one place to pay another. Once, before the payday, I don't even have any money for food anymore. He invited me to dinner. I started crying while eating. The next day, he transferred 5,000 yuan to my WeChat account. Just use it for now. No need to rush, you can pay later. It just became logical from there on out. He rented a small apartment for me. Give me living expenses every month. I don't have to go to work anymore. Spending time with him specifically, he said his wife didn't understand him. They say I'm the person who understands him best of all. I believe it, or rather whether I believe it or not isn't important at all. What I want is money. But I forgot. Everything that comes without a cost. In the end, everything must be paid back, including the principal and interest. In the end, his wife found out about our affair. I was sleeping in my apartment that day. The door was smashed with such force that it echoed throughout the area. I haven't yet realized it. The door lock was unlocked. When he rushed in, I'm wearing only a strapless sleep dress. He grabbed my hair. They dragged me off the bed to the floor and I screamed. He slapped me. Call me a fox spirit, call me a bitch. The 2 women he brought with him held me down. They took pictures of me with their phones. They said they'd post it online to make me famous. I curled up on the ground, holding my head in my hands. Can't say a single word. Later he arrived. He didn't protect me, just took his wife away. Before leaving, he gave me a look with those eyes of his. I still remember it to this day. It's not out of pity. It's not guilt. It seems like boredom is what's being expressed. Why are you being so troublesome? That night, he told me to move out of the apartment. Then he transferred 50,000 yuan to me. Let's agree to part ways amicably. I didn't reply. Paid him and then deleted him. I thought this was the worst that could happen. I didn't expect things to get even worse later on. Since then, I guess I've given up completely. Anyway, it's already like this. Anyway, I've already been called a whore by someone. What's there to worry about anymore? I began to move around between different men. There are those who are divorced. There are those who have lost their spouses. Having a wife who never comes back from abroad for years. I'm not picky about appearance. No age restrictions. Choose only one. Are you generous with your spending? The reason I give myself is, I'm paying off my debts. But I know. The debt was paid off long ago. I chose to get stuck in it myself. Don't want to come out. During those years, I was confronted at my company by people who wanted to talk to me. Have been cursed with a sword by someone. Someone spilled coffee on me. Got slapped in the face. Once, in a shopping mall. A woman rushed over and pulled my hair, tugging while shouting, "Let everyone take a look at what this mistress looks like." I'm sitting on the ground, holding her face, with a crowd gathered around her. Someone is filming a video. Some people are gossiping and pointing fingers. I watched those shots. Suddenly felt like I was so dirty. I think if my mom saw this video, how disappointed he must be. He probably regrets his decision back then too. I shouldn't have been born this pretty, right? Later, I couldn't stay in that city anymore. Changed my place of residence. I thought that changing places would allow me to start over. It's too difficult to start over. I don't know how to live ordinary days. I don't even know how to date ordinary people. I know only one way to live. Just use this face to get something in exchange. Then I met President Joe. President Joe is different from all the men I've been with before. He's not young anymore. At 61, half of my hair has turned white. But it's been cleaned up very thoroughly. The first time he met me, it was at a dinner party. Someone else took me there. I drank too much that day, vomiting in the bathroom. He happened to come in to wash his hands. Passed me a tissue. He said the little girl should drink less. What if I say I don't want to drink? Give me money for the water I drink. He glanced at me but said nothing. Later he added me on WeChat. He isn't like other men, starting off by saying such disgusting things. He only occasionally asks me if I've eaten. I replied in a sporadic manner. Didn't take it seriously. Until one day, he said I went to meet you because you wanted to see me. He took me out to eat. It wasn't some fancy restaurant at all. It's just an ordinary home-style restaurant. After dinner, he gave me a ride home. Downstairs, he said, "Don't go to those messy parties anymore. If you're short of money, tell me." I wanted to laugh at that moment. I said, "President Joe, why should I spend your money?" He said it's simply because I want to. 1 month later, I simply moved into the golden cage he had prepared for me. Mr. Joe really has a lot of money. In his early years, he was in the building materials business. Later, got into real estate. I still have a few shopping malls in my portfolio right now. The apartment complex he rented for me, 80,000 per square meter. The cars parked downstairs are all worth at least 1 million. He issued me an additional card. There's no limit to the amount. The first time I tried it, my hands are shaking. On the surface, he's very kind to me. Never treated me badly in terms of material things. But he has a habit. It's that he likes to bite me. It's not the kind of bite that's done for fun. It really bit. Every time we're together, he suddenly bites my shoulder. Bit my arm. Bite my back. Sometimes the bites are quite hard. Can bite hard enough to leave marks. It doesn't go away after several days. I'm screaming and crying in pain. The more I struggle, the more excited he gets. But all this pain of mine can be exchanged for real money. Every time he tries to destroy me, they'll all give me some money. Sometimes it's 10,000 or 20,000. Sometimes I've even given out 100,000 in cash. Every time I look at the bite marks in the mirror, let's take another look at that stack of cash on the table. I suddenly started laughing. But then I cried instead. The first time I received those 100,000 yuan, it was the most vicious bite he's ever given. I had no idea what was wrong with him that day. After arriving, didn't say a word. Just bite my shoulder directly. Bites until blood comes out, still won't let go. I pushed him hard because it hurt so much. Hit him with my hand. The more he hit him, the harder he hit. I cried until my voice went hoarse. Please make him relent. He ignored it in the end. Probably he was just tired. Stop and look at what's on my shoulder. That tooth mark from which blood was oozing out. Suddenly said, I'm sorry. Just acted on impulse. I didn't say anything. I crouched in the corner of the bed. Tears fell like pearls that had broken their threads. He got up and went to the study. When he came out, he was holding a stack of cash in his hand. Place it on the nightstand to 100,000. Neatly bundled up. He said he'd go buy something delicious to eat and nourish himself. After he left, I squatted by the bed, staring at that pile of money. I've been looking at it for a long time. The wound on my shoulder hurts in pulses. I slowly stood up. Walk up to the mirror. Take off your pajamas. The person in the mirror, on their shoulders, arms, and back. All purple bruises. The new covers the old. Layer by layer. I don't know how long I cried. Later, I was too tired to cry anymore. I walked over to the bed. Pick up that stack of money, counting one by one. After counting, tie it up with a rubber band. Put it in the drawer. That drawer contains everything he keeps there each time. Compensation for my suffering after all this venting. 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Add these 100,000 to it. A total of 470,000. I close the drawer. Lie back in bed. The wound on my shoulder still hurts. The pain keeps me awake. I stared at the ceiling and thought, 470,000 should be enough to buy an apartment in our county town, right? At the end of that year, I bought a house for my parents in full payment in the county town. 2-bedroom, 1 living room apartment, over 80 square meters. When I handed the keys to my mom, her eyes were filled with tears as she said, my daughter, Mom didn't raise you in vain all her life. When sleeping, my mom made my bed for me. As I laid it down, I spoke along the way. Jiaoxi, what's wrong with you? I was stunned for a moment. She said you were changing clothes just now. I think there's some kind of mark on your shoulder. I was startled and quickly said, I accidentally fell that way. My mom said I fell really hard. I said it's okay. It doesn't hurt anymore. After she left, I hid under the covers, covering my mouth and crying for a long time. I stayed at home for a week during that spring festival. Every day, my mom finds new ways to cook delicious food for me. My dad praises my daughter to everyone he meets, saying she's talented and promising. Bought an apartment in the city. I smile when I see them smiling. I can lie on that bed every night that I use. The bed gained at the cost of one's body and pain. I can't fall asleep at all. I don't dare to talk about my life with others. Afraid they'll think I'm lazy. Afraid my parents will be sad when they find out. Sometimes I think, if I were less attractive, wouldn't it be like this then? If that art school teacher hadn't taken a liking to me, should be back in my hometown now, doing ordinary work, marry an honest person, then have a child. Being poor is just being poor. At least I don't have these bite marks on me. At least I don't have to lie to my mom. But there aren't that many what-ifs in reality. Now, New Year's Eve is just around the corner. I touched the scars on my body, some deep and some shallow. Called my mom, tell her I won't be going home this year. After hanging up the phone, I transferred another 20,000 yuan to my mom's card. But sometimes I also think about it. If there really is a next life, I want to be an ordinary person. Ordinary looking, living an ordinary life too. I don't need to make a living with my looks. There's no need to pay off debts with this face either. A mistakenly sent 3-minute video. It cost me my husband and son. It's also the perfect wife life that I've painstakingly built up. As those messages in the homeowners group became irreversible. Complete collapse. I'm 34 years old this year. 8 years married. The child is 6 years old. My husband is an engineer. Not much to say, just an honest person. There are always a few days each month when I'm on business trips away from home. I'm taking care of the child at home, taking care of in-laws. Live a well-organized life, Viv. In the moms group in our neighborhood, I seem to have become someone else's wife. I heard that some mothers-in-law gossip about their daughters-in-law in private. They always use me as a positive example. Look at that young wife of 306. The child is well taken care of. Also respectful to one's in-laws. I've never seen those two argue at all. In their eyes, I seem to be the perfect benchmark. I just laughed when I heard it. They only saw the superficial harmony. Yet she didn't know that I had already stopped sharing a bed with my husband. There's no particular reason. It's him who snores. I can't fall asleep. Sometimes I'm bored at night, stalking those sweet romance videos on my phone. I think the same. I'm only 34 years old. Is this it for my entire life? But just think about it anyway. Woke up the next day. Send the child off. Send the child away. Time to buy groceries. Time to shop for food. Life goes on as usual. I thought these mundane days would just go on like this forever. Until that mistakenly sent video. Let it all end. It all started half a year ago. That day, my husband was on a business trip again. The child is asleep. I lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. Spent the whole night watching videos. Suddenly, an ad for a dating app popped up. I have no idea which wire in my brain got crossed. Some force drove me to click download, install, and register. Just picked a random nickname. I'll just consider it as a way to pass the time. Just wander around the square casually. At this moment, a message pops up. Are you a newcomer? The profile picture shows a cartoon boy. Looks pretty sunny. I replied with Didn't care at all. I see you just registered. Welcome. My name is Asun. What's yours? I didn't use my real name. Just said something incomprehensible casually. He didn't ask any further questions either. Just had a few casual conversations about everyday stuff. I said I couldn't sleep. He said he was too. Just got off the night shift. I asked what he did for a living. He said the fitness coach. Just like that, we chatted for about 10 minutes. I said I'm tired and want to sleep. He said good night. I thought this matter was over now. Returned home after dropping off the child the next day. The phone keeps beeping non-stop. I picked it up and took a look. It's all his messages. There's also a selfie of him attached. I opened that photo. A person wearing a sports vest. The boy made a yes gesture at himself in the mirror. Great figure. 8 well-defined abdominal muscles. Her eyes turn into crescents when she smiles. Exceptionally sunny. I stared at that photo for several seconds. My heart beat a little faster for no reason. There was nothing much to do that afternoon. I started talking with him. He said he's 28 and single. My last relationship ended because of infidelity. It took several months of sadness before I could get over it. I said that girl really has no taste. He sent a crying face emoji and said, "Finally, someone understands me." That day, we talked for the entire afternoon. He replies to messages really quickly. Basically, I just send it over. He'll be back soon. Occasionally, it happens every few minutes as well. Let me explain just now while leading the students. Sorry, I haven't felt this in a very, very long time. My husband's messages are usually, got it. Sometimes I send a long message. He takes forever to reply. But Izan is different. He'll ask me what I ate today. It reminds me to drink water. It happens whenever I complain that my child isn't obedient. Send a meme with a head pat emoji. Those few days when my husband was on a business trip, we talked almost non-stop except when we were sleeping. I found out that his hometown is outside this area. A person striving to make a living in the city. The apartment is only 2 subway stops away from my home. She also knows that my husband often travels on business. It's really tiring to take care of the child all by myself. Later, my husband came back. I'll just keep talking. Just turned off the message notifications. Turned the phone on silent mode. I've started doing it in front of him again. Continue to play the role of a perfect wife when my husband is watching TV. I'm responding to messages over here. He asked me what I was doing. I'm chatting with a friend. He said not to look at the phone for too long. It's bad for your eyes. I agreed. What he didn't know was, right now in the corner of my phone, hiding another man. Sister Faye, let's meet up. When he sent this message, I'm making breakfast for my child. Seeing this sentence, my hand trembled for a moment. Almost knocked the spatula to the ground. It's not very convenient for me to go back right now. What's there to be afraid of from just having a cup of coffee? I'm not going to eat you anyway. I thought about it for a long time. In the end, I agreed anyway. That day, I wore a new dress that I had just bought. Wore light makeup. Stared at myself in the mirror for a long time before going out. Feel like I still look pretty young. At 34, my figure is still pretty decent. He arranged to meet me at a coffee shop that's a bit far from my house. When I arrived, he's already waiting there. As soon as he saw me, he stood up and waved. The person in person is even more attractive than in the photos. Tall and thin, wearing a simple white t-shirt and jeans. Smiles so genuinely and purely. He said, Sister Faye, you're really 34 already. Looks like around 27 or 28. I blushed from his compliments, saying one thing while meaning the opposite. But inside, I'm feeling very happy. That cup of coffee was consumed over 2 hours. What did we talk about? I really can't remember clearly. I just remember that he kept smiling at me. On the way back, I received his message. Your husband is really unacceptable. Letting such a beautiful wife be at home alone. I looked at that message, stunned for a long time. If there's a first time, there'll be a second time. We met a few more times after that. Every time it's when my husband is on a business trip. Sometimes I drink coffee. Sometimes I just eat a meal, sometimes not. It's him, after he gets off work at the gym. Let's take a walk in the nearby park. He would secretly hold my hand when no one else was around. I'll nervously shake it off. He'll laugh again and pull it back. It felt like going back to my teenage years. Until one day, he said, Sister Faye, I want to go to your place for dinner. My first reaction was to refuse. No, that won't work. What are you afraid of? Your husband isn't home again. I just want to eat the food you cook. Try your handiwork. I refused several times. He whined and coaxed in every possible way. In the end, I agreed anyway. That day, he went to the supermarket and bought red wine. I made steak and pasta. The child has been taken to my mom's place. It's just the two of us at home. Dim the lights. Light the candle. It took a long time to finish the meal with the wine poured. Bottle after bottle of wine was drunk. I don't even know how much I drank. Just feel dizzy. My face feels hot. He looked at me. The look in his eyes is becoming more and more strange. He suddenly leaned in closer. Sis Faye, you're really beautiful. Then he kissed me. I should have pushed him away, but I don't have it. That afternoon, everything that was supposed to happen has happened. From then on, things got completely out of control. Husband goes on business trips every time. He'll come to all of them. Sometimes it's during the day. Sometimes at night. We've become utterly fearless. Getting bolder and bolder. Once he put his arms around me and said, Sis, let's record a video together. Keep it as a memento. I was startled. No, what if someone sees us? Don't worry, my face won't be shown. In my own opinion, let's relive it for a moment. I hesitated for a long time. In the end, I agreed anyway. That day, I recorded it with my phone. A 3-minute clip. Really didn't show the face at all. But the tattoos on his body, home renovation, and the wedding photo on the wall by the bed, which flashed by for a moment. He messaged me after he left. Hey, can you send me that video? I look at it when I miss you. I opened the photo album. Find that video. Hesitated for a long time. Still clicked send. After sending it, I left my phone in the bedroom to charge. Going to the kitchen to make dinner for the kids. After about 10 minutes or so, I'm holding my phone to check the time. As soon as I opened it, there are over 200 new messages in the homeowners group. I clicked in to take a look. It's all completely shocking, damn it. What kind of expression is this? I scrolled to the very top, found the 3-minute full version. I posted it in the property owners group. At that moment, everything went black before my eyes. The sky is falling. I frantically clicked to undo it, but the system shows a prompt. The sending time is too long. Cannot be revoked. 10 odd minutes. That video remained in the group chat for over 10 minutes. Over 200 people. At least half of them have already been watched. I slumped to the ground. My head is buzzing. The phone is still vibrating. Messages keep coming in one after another in the group. I got up. I called the group owner, trembling with fear, and said, "Sis, can you dissolve the group?" She remained silent for a long time. Even if I dissolve it, so what? The message is still there. I've seen everything that needed to be seen. I hung up the phone. Right after that, my husband called. The phone screen lit up again and again. I didn't dare to answer. I don't know how to face him. Husband came back in the early morning of that day. When he entered the door, I'm sitting on the sofa. Didn't sleep a wink all night. My eyes are swollen like walnuts. The child has been taken away by my mom. He stood at the door and didn't enter. What's going on exactly? He said his voice was trembling. He walked over to the sofa, grabbing my shoulder and shouting, "Lin Fei! We've been married for 8 years. In what way have I wronged you? You treat me like this." I covered my face. Tears streamed down uncontrollably. He said I went on business trips to earn more money. Make this home a better place to live. I can't eat or sleep properly when I'm alone outside. I've never thought of doing anything that would betray you. What about you? What are you doing at home? Have you treated me fairly? Have you been unfair to me? He looked at me. Lin Fei with red eyes. You're making my life a fucking joke. We're done. The divorce was handled very quickly. I gave her both the house and the child without any argument. There's no point in arguing either. The day of the move, I ran into my neighbor from downstairs in the elevator. When we meet usually, he always greets with a smile. Praised me for being virtuous and good-hearted. That day he saw me. Paused for a moment. Then I lowered my head, pretending to look at my phone. I stepped out of the apartment building. A few ladies taking a walk downstairs saw me, whispering to each other about something. I can't hear clearly, but I know what they're talking about. I walked outside, dragging my suitcase behind me. When passing by the property management office, I heard someone inside say that it was him. That one in the wild boar group. I left in a hurry with my head down. Right now, I'm sitting on the floor of my rental apartment. Outside the window is the night view of this unfamiliar city. 34 years old, alone. A strange city. I exiled myself. On the day of registration, my mom called me. Crying, she asked if I really had to leave. Mom, I really have no face to stay any longer. The group chat for that residential complex. To this day, people still use me as talk fodder. The child's school. It's being spread around in the parents' group. Even when I go grocery shopping, I encounter people who keep commenting on everything. I remember the last time my son saw him. He asked my mom, "Why don't you come back and live here? Do you not want me anymore?" I don't know how to answer. I can only hold her and cry. I deserve this. Truly, everything that happened today is my own fault.